what's up? This is 227, and tonight I have a huge theory. It finally makes sense now. I was looking around Fortnite, and it finally made sense. Okay. So here's what's gonna happen. Okay, you know how these guys were building a giant robot, right? I assume that they're gonna use this to fight the monster that is swimming around the lake. But, no, I could have been more wrong. But, for once, it actually makes sense. And for once, this one actually makes sense. Okay, now you're probably telling me, hey, Street, you mind telling us why you keep saying that it's making sense and that you're not telling us much? I sincerely apologize, but I'm gonna tell you now. Okay, let's clock back the time, shall we? Okay, back at Season 4, back when the supervillain base was like, all, crazy. I realized that when the meteor crashed down on Season 4, where it used to be Dusty Depot, now called Dusty Depot, the visitor came up for the meteor, came all the way over to where the rocket was. Now he was a smart guy apparently. He launched that rocket all over the place. He was zipping over there. He broke down that huge mess that now became a desert. Came circling around over there where the Ice King now resides. Shot out from the sky, made a huge crack in the sky. But during the time, Kevin the Cube came out from that exact area, which is, technically right there, where Kevin the Cube was born. Rolled all the way over to Loot Lake, caused the tide water to be all bouncy like. But when the next season came, when the darkness arrived, Kevin the Cube re-emerged from the ocean, started to do some crazy stuff. Loot Lake was transformed. Then the next season, the Ice King had performed a huge ice that caused the whole Ice Age during the whole Christmas event. That kind of happened. But also gave way to the prisoner, who actually turns out to be the Fire King, and was the same Fire King that apparently made a huge freaking volcano. So yeah, it was like fire versus ice. Apparently the Fire King launched a whole bunch of fireballs. One that broke the polar peak, the other crashed in tilted towers, and the final one kind of destroyed Retail Row, which was now called the Mega Mall, apparently. But it didn't end there. Since the new season, the ice thawed, and now the monster broke free and started swimming around the ocean. It was the Ice King's last resort. Yeah, that monster's gonna cause a lot of damage, people. And let me tell you, it's gonna be huge. Because I'm here to tell you about the whole water tides here, people. Okay. It's like high tide, low tide, everything has to go with the whole ocean, just kind of be controlled by the moon. Well, I just figured out because apparently this robot over here, it's on its way up to the moon. And apparently it's going to cause a huge crazy event that I didn't even know of. We're probably going to be like all over the place, man. And I was not even knowing about it. Let me tell you, that thing's gonna launch like a rocket. And And I know why. You see, here's a little history that you don't even know about. 50 years ago, 3 brave astronauts from the United States of America actually went to space in a spaceship and landed on the moon before the Russians did. Apparently, these 3 were the only ones that made it to the moon because apparently they, like very confident astronauts to prove that they were even better than the Russians. Sorry for being racial terms if I keep saying Russian, but I'm saying it because apparently it's like 50 years of history, people. So Fortnite is going to launch that thing, that huge rocket, on that exact day of the 20th. So it's going to be morning when I'm going to start recording this thing. So apparently it's going to be like one big crazy rocket launch straight to the moon. Which, again, it's going to cause some ocean tides. That's right. I hear some stuff was going to be destroyed on the map. And the ocean over there is going to be cause a huge tidal wave of mass destruction, destroying some places. Okay, I kind of face planted like that. Face planted right on the dirt. Which was kind of an idiotic thing to do if I wasn't playing on one of those singles, but I'm doing this in the playground just to tell you guys what's going on. Hey, the Campbell's back! Yay! But enough of that. Back to the moon thing. Now, according to calculations, the astronauts were given a specific order to collect moon rocks. And according to calculation, the 3 astronauts collect about 50 of them before they head home. And since then, the 3 of them were deemed heroes because apparently they explored places that no man has ever traveled before. So, let's talk back about that visitor. You know, that one guy that you may have in your, may have earned on your Season 4 pass. Yeah, that, one is actually, get this. The visitor is from the future. I may sound crazy, but for once, it actually makes sense. Because apparently you don't see gear like that in the Season 4 Battle Pass, where it shows the visitor coming out from the meteor that has different designs that you didn't even know about. And oh, about these warning signs right here. Okay, I gotta start learning to not follow myself every frickin' time I try to start explaining stuff. So these warning signs that they ones that are popping out everywhere, the one that says duck and cover, and the other one says when danger strikes, take high ground. Yeah, that frickin' huge robot, the one with Billy, is gonna hit the moon. It's gonna cause a huge tidal wave, and the only place that when danger strikes, you need to take high ground on those things right here. Those huge air carriers, because playing the difference between low tide and high tide are the currents of the ocean that are being pulled right in between the different size and mass that will cause a huge flood over this island. And trust me, you don't want any of that. You don't want to drown in the ocean like an idiot. So if you're a noob and don't know what's going on, then rest in peace, noobs. Rest in peace. Because apparently, this is the big one. I'm setting up the day and date that you're gonna have to do. According to this, it's gonna be on July 20th. And it's that exact time, the daytime, when the astronauts were launched into space on the Apollo mission. So try to keep this in mind, people, because this one is a big doozy. And with all of that intact, I would say that's all the time we got. If you like, leave a comment down below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can.